right, well, welcome to Macwood's Dune Rides. My name is Tim, and I'll be your driver today. And we're going to take about a 40-minute tour of the dunes. Okay. We'll stop several times so you can get pictures and things. And I'll even give you some information. Check out Lake Michigan, get some pictures, and then we'll climb back on and see if we can find our way back.
All right.
Yeah, any questions at all before we head out? Now, make sure to hold on to your hats. They do come off on the ride sometimes. And if we lose hats on the ride, we can't stop to pick them up, so be very careful. Nobody likes to come back and see their driver wearing their hat, right?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Get up onto the dunes, and we call it termite bridge because the bridge is made out of wood and, just as you would suspect, loaded with termites. Yeah. And I can see that you're frightened, but you don't have to worry. Okay, we are probably not going to go crashing through the bridge into the raging waters below because we've designed a technique that's going to lighten the load up enough so that we can get safely across.
All right.
But I do need your help. So as we pull up to the bridge, I need you to take a deep breath, okay? As we get on the bridge, just let it all out. Whatever you do, don't take another breath until we're safely across the other side, okay? Are we ready?
Yes!
We're gonna wait for this guy to get out of our way. He's the grader. And believe it or not, they grade this trail completely flat every morning. And then, because on busy days like today, they have to come out and grade it again in the afternoon too. So we'll wait until he's done. Looks like he's getting up. All right, here we go.
Come on.
Let it all out.
Yeah!
Joking about the hats, right? If you lose your hat on the ride, that's where it's going to end up. Or your shoes or your etch-a-sketches that you brought. So be careful. Hold on to those items. Otherwise, you'll be famous. And we'll make jokes about you the rest of the summer. Yeah. Now, from up here, you can see a pretty good chunk of the 1,800 acres of sand dunes that we have here at Silver Lake. And all of them are now owned by the state of Michigan. So this is all part of the Silver Lake State Park up here. Now the state's actually divided these dunes up into 3 different sections for you guys to use. So if you look way to the north, you can see a bunch of vehicles over there. That's what we call the ORV, or off-road vehicle area. And that is where you can take your own vehicle or rent one here in Silver Lake and drive it around the dunes all by yourself over on the north side. Well, not by yourself, with 3,000 other people today. Yeah. So a busy weekend, yeah. And then we have this section right here that's now leased by Mac Woods from the state, so that we're allowed to drive our dune scooters out here on these trails that we've made for you. And we are the only ones allowed to drive on this section of the dunes. Now, in between the two vehicle areas, there's a big part of the dunes that's been set aside just for people to hike on and explore, and we call that the pedestrian area. No vehicles allowed. So yeah, if you wanted to, you could actually hike from Silver Lake, which is over this ridge to your right, all the way over to Lake Michigan, right on that pedestrian area. And it's only about 1.5 miles from lake to lake and takes about 10 days. If you've ever hiked in the sand, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Now, does anybody know what we're supposed to do when we go down a big hill on a dune ride? That's right, put your hands up and yell, right? Now, yeah, you don't have to worry. Okay, you guys in the back look a little nervous. This is not the biggest hill on the ride. This is what we like to think of as our test hill. So this is your test to see if you're ready for the bigger hills later in the ride.
All right.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Everybody ready?
All right. that about halfway up the west coastline here, there are 2 points that come out into the lake. And we're actually on the southernmost point right here. This is called Little Point Sauble. And there is a big Point Sauble to the north of us, up past the Ludington area. You'll be able to see it from the beach going back out into the lake there. And sometimes I've even heard this referred to as the Narrows of Lake Michigan, because from here to Wisconsin is only about 60 miles. Yeah, from what I could find, this is the closest point between Wisconsin and Michigan, right here off our beaches. Which is super important in case you ever want to swim across, right? I mean, this would be the spot you'd want to try it right here, yeah. I actually got the courage up and tried that swim myself last summer, and you know, I'm telling you what, I thought I was in pretty good shape. I got myself about 30 miles out before I realized I was never going to make it across, and ended up having to swim back. It was really disappointing. But, yeah. Now, we do have a lighthouse down the beach about a mile south of us. And it is said to be the tallest on Lake Michigan. So if you haven't been down to check that out yet, I'll show you how to get down there on our way back. Okay? All right, let's go check out the site down there.
Hello.
Level, what a level, what? Thank you.
सहयोग गर्न त्यहाँ बसेर
पर्फेक्ट छ त यो त त्यस्तो चिसो छैन आइस पर्फेक्ट पर्फेक्ट खतरा आहा
क्षितिज अन क्षितिज त्यो उसमा हाल न फेसबुकमा क्षितिज विथ क्षितिज
फेसबुक
गाह्रो किन हुनु म यहाँ ऱ्याकेट अहिले किन पोलराइज क्लास हो त्यो यसो बेल्ट देखिरहेको छु देखिरहेको
स्यान्ड छ नि हुँदै यहाँ
स्यान्ड बेल्ट हुन्छ नि
सेतो सेतो
हामीलाई बाबुले भनेको थियो नि हामी वाक गर्दै आएको थियो लेक हुरनमा पुरामा हिँड्दै आयो तानेर त्यो बेल्टमा बेल्टमा त ढुङ्गै ढुङ्गा हुन्छ नि त
Take only pictures. बोकेरा बोकेरा
चक्सले हान्दैन न
त्यही भन चिसो भयो खुट्टा चिसो भयो भने कस्तो बगेन यस्तो चिसो भइरहेको
त्यो मान्छेले बोलाउँछु फेरि
हो दामी छ ल
1, 2, 3.
ल ब्रो अब मेरो पालो
यस्तो खुट्टा चिसो भइरहेको
Right, eh?
बोला जम्प
किती? बोला.
के भयो पछाडि बस्नु See you. See you there. यहाँ रहेछ नि त कुर्सी म्याकुट्स
believe me, we don't fade to that stuff. Oh yeah. But you're warming up here. Is there anything I should be doing now?
ఇవి యాదగా బ్యాగ్ మాత్రం ఓవర్లోడ్
나온다? 일단 빔 기장.
All right, you guys ready to go? We'll load back up. We don't want to stay out here by ourselves, right? Hard to leave the beach. Okay, switch spots huh?
아하.
For the big hills.
I got the camera.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Get some good shots. Now this is our wildlife area out here on the dunes. Of course, we call it that because this is where the drivers hang out after work, right over here. In case you're wondering, right? Yeah. We do have a few wild animals that'll join us out here once in a while. Typical Michigan animals, though. So we'll see our white-tailed deer, fox, coyotes, turkeys, camels, those kind of things. I did see a cougar out here one time too, and that was pretty dang scary. But we're married now, so it's all good. We don't have to do that anyway. And my wife hates that joke. But, I do like to talk a little bit about the plants out here, though, because you've probably noticed this is kind of a harsh environment for most plants to grow in. But there are a few that do a pretty good job of it, and one of them are these trees over here. Now these are mostly poplar trees, cottonwood poplars, and they're a very common tree here in the Midwest, but they grow especially well out here on the dunes because when they get covered with sand, they'll actually start to grow roots right where their leaves and branches once were. So these trees can keep getting covered with sand year after year and grow very nicely out here on the dunes. And you know, if you dug down to where that tree started growing, I bet it'd be about 40 or 50 feet down. So even though it looks like a bunch of little trees up here, you're really seeing just the very tops of taller trees that have been mostly covered with sand and still continue to grow. Yeah. So any questions about the plants or animals out here before we move on? No? All right. Let's see if we can Now, this is a really good spot to talk about how the wind moves the sand around out here at Silver Lake, because it's always neat to think that every grain of sand you're looking at out here actually had to come from the beach area on Lake Michigan at one time. Washed down the shoreline by wave action, and then blown inland off the beaches by the prevailing winds out here, which typically come out of the northwest, just like you're feeling right here. This wind off the lake has been moving the sand inland over the years, and of course, poor Silver Lake is right in the way of these moving dunes. And there are spots on the lake that they say fill in as much as 6 to 10 feet a year still. So it's a good thing you guys came when you did. Yeah. Next summer, Silver Lake's going to be a little bit smaller, right? And believe it or not, there's several cottages back in the corner of the lake over here that have been completely covered with sand over the years. Yeah. Underneath that big ridge back there that goes all the way back to the woods behind us. And we actually call that ridge Sugarloaf, and it is one of the tallest out here on the dunes. And I do have a fun thing I like to do on my days off. I enjoy climbing to the top of that big ridge and lathering up with lots of oily sunscreen and then just rolling down. can prepare myself. Okay, so here we go. Now, if you're like me, a little bit afraid of heights, just do what I do here and close your eyes. This hill goes by really fast, right? Here we go, hands up.
Hands up! Eh, istri sama Teki lah. Boleh apa
Talk a little bit about something neat that happens out here if we have a thunderstorm that crosses the dune area. So if lightning strikes the sand out here, it will actually heat it up hot enough to melt it, right? This dune sand out here at Silver Lake will melt into kind of a grayish glass-like material that we call a fulgurite. Usually takes some sort of a tube-like shape. And you can't find them out here on the dunes after a windy day might uncover them from where they've been melted into the sand. Now, you don't have to worry about hiking all over the dunes though to see one of these fulgurites because the Wood family has been driving their dune scooters out here for 93 years this summer. And one of their hobbies were to look for these fulgurites. So they do have some of the biggest ones they found over the years on display back in the gift shop. So you can check them out when we get back, and if you like what you see, come out and look for them yourself, right? There you go, melted sand. Any questions at all before we head off the dunes?
What happened to the guy that was buried in the sand?
Oh, Sandy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't work here anymore. Oh, there's a spider. Oh!